Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Abdul Rahman bin Abdul Karim from Merlimau, Malacca. I went to school in 1957, the year Malaysia got independence. I studied in Bandar Hilir English School, Malacca, for 1 year, Standard 1, and then after that, I was transferred to Tranquera English School, Malacca, because Bandar Hilir English School did not have a lot of classrooms. Therefore, we were transferred to Tranquera English School. In fact, those days, there were lack of English schools in Malacca. No, in the place where I was born, Merlimau, there was only one Malay school, and they had an English class in that Malay school, just one class. So meanwhile, in 1957, when I went to Standard 1 in the Bandar Hilir English School, we had the Merdeka celebration. Malaysia got its Malaya got its independence, and our school had a gathering in the Padang opposite our school. There was a Padang, and just beside the seafront. Uh, so we went there waving our Malaysian flags and so on. In the year 1962, I went to Form 1 in the Gajah Berang Secondary English School, which is also in Malacca. And I studied there until Form 5, until the year 1966. And after my senior Cambridge examination, uh, I was quite jobless. I did not have any job, and did not gain any entry into the local universities or colleges. At that time, it was quite difficult to gain entry into the colleges or universities. Even though we were all very fluent in English and we were quite well educated, we did not have that much of a opportunity to continue continue our studies. So meanwhile, in the year 1969, I had no choice but to join the Royal Malaysian Air Force. And I joined the Royal Malaysian Air Force as an armament technician, and whereby I was sent to many countries, especially Australia, England, and USA for my technical training. Other than that, after that, I was came back after my courses. I came back, and then I was attached to the Royal Malaysian Air Force in Kuantan, and then I served in the Royal Malaysian Air Force Butterworth, Royal Malaysian Air Force Labuan, and so on. I left the service after 22 years of service, which is the minimum terms of service that is required by the Air Force. So I left the Air Force in 1990 as a warrant officer class 1. During those days, since there was no English school in Merlimau, then the only schools were in Malacca town, which is about 26 kilometers away from Merlimau. So every day I had to travel by bus to school. I used to go to the bus station and then get a bus which comes from Mua town. The bus will come and then will stop by at the Marlimau bus station, and then we will be carried to Malacca to our various schools in Malacca. So other than that, we had to travel up and down daily. Luckily for the Malacca Omnibus Service (MOS), which provided the service. So that is how we went to school. So other than that, it was the same in primary school and secondary school. Same thing. For 11 years of schooling, we had the same problem, going up and down daily. We used to be on the road by 7 a.m. So you can imagine at what time you will wake up. Roughly about 6 a.m. And then we will have breakfast and then walk to the bus station and then get the bus to Malacca. No, there are no specific subjects, but all the basic subjects that were taught were like English, Bahasa Malaysia, and mathematics, science, general science, uh, mathematics, geography, history. These were the main subjects that were taught in school. Other than that, there were no special subjects or what. Well, the most of the topics in history were actually in the what do you call, pre Merdeka period, Jajahan in Malaya, and also before that, also we had these Portuguese and Dutch and so on. They came, so all that we studied lah in history. Other than that, world history, the Second World War, and so on lah, slightly, but not very deep. Yeah, most of my school teachers were all well trained. They were all trained in England, Brinsford Lodge. A lot of them were very good and they spoke very good English. Actually, there was no particular reason for us to be sent to school because it was the basic. At that time, in the 50s, it was already, schools were already uh, ongoing, you see, everywhere. Schools, especially English schools. Malay schools were very less. Sekolah kebangsaan were very less. But English schools, jenis, what do you call, jenis kebangsaan. Jenis kebangsaan English schools were plenty. So most of our students came from the Chinese communities, Indian communities, and also Malays. A lot of Malays also. But most of the Malays, they went to the Malay schools. And also a lot of Chinese went to Chinese schools and Indians went to Tamil schools and so on. But in English schools, the three races were there. We were sent to school not because of anything else, because it was the basic education that was required for sustainable life later on in the future, isn't it?